So, but at the end of the day, there's that disclaimer at the beginning. Dumbass millennials, dumbass perspectives, dumbass opinions. Because it's just what we think. It's how we feel about certain situations. It's our sins and our woes, our mistakes and our complaints.
Right.
That's all. But I always want people to know that this is the space, especially for millennials that don't get that kind of space. Because when does a millennial get to be heard unless he's being a fucking keyboard warrior on Twitter?
I agree. There's no yeah, man. Not a lot of places to express themselves
and to be the I think it's important when you say express themselves because they can be heard with what we want them to hear. But when they just express like really what they want to express, you gotta listen. Yeah. And you might not like everything coming out of your mouth, yo. Even us, you know, like we somewhere in between. I don't know where we at. You know, I'm not gonna say our ages, but I'm not 25. So
don't worry, your lowest level of millennial is 25, so you're good.
But it's crazy though, man, and I think it's important to just be an ear and let people, because that's how you can truly figure out where they're at and be able to help where you can or learn. We learn mad stuff from Los. He's 19, right?
Yeah, 19 years old.
So
oh, they definitely have something to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's always positive.
No,
sorry, shout out to Gen Z. Y'all my niggas.
Sometimes you gotta make corrections. But it's important how much you learn.
But it's and that's like when it comes to the nitty gritty, like what's being put on paper, what's being put out. But just the ideology, just the opinion, I'm all for it, bro. Just come on, just tell me how you feel about some shit. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm a counselor, but
yo, let me tell you, like, from these protests and stuff, I'm not trying to get like serious about it, but like,
oh no, have your energy.
Watching the protests, and I'm sitting there in the front lines talking to people, right? And I'm like, this culture, this generation right now is strong. Yo, and everybody's like, oh, you know, they're rioting, looting. And my opinion is that some stuff needs to be torn up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to break those windows. We do. And then sometimes we need to be the people who we gotta have the peace and we got to have the stuff broken up. We do.
Well, you know they said,
that's my feeling on it. I really do. Yeah. But here's the thing: the people who are like the most destructive, the most educated, because the girl who stopped 66 in 95, she's studying to be a lawyer. And it's almost done. I'm going to give you a yes and no on that. I'm only saying because, like, yes, I agree that people that are most destructive are the most intelligent. But I also say the stupid is just as destructive as the intelligent. This is true.
And most times, like, you say, like, the person that's most destructive, I think maybe the first one. But the other ones that come that just want to see something, like, oh, all right, let me go ahead and bust this window open.
There's a difference between the looters and the rioters. I've been saying that for a long time. There's a big difference between the looters and the rioters. There are people who are fed up, want to fight. Yeah. Rioter. There are people who see destruction, want to contribute to the destruction, and take advantage of it.
Because now they can just be in the crowd and not go to jail for today. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's cancel culture. But let me go ahead and just throw that out there because then I'm safe from what I'm about to say. Right. But you know what's funny about this whole looting rioting thing is it's literally it's a form of a Me Too movement, not the Me Too movement, a Me Too movement. That's what looting is in response to social justice issues.
Wow, I've never heard it put like that.
Not the Me Too movement. So Me Too, you don't come for me. I'm not talking. I'm saying this to y'all. Right. I'm saying a Me Too movement. This is like, hey, this affects me as well. Let me go ahead and hop on this too. But my angles are a little different.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when he talked about we need peace and this. I always say like, okay, even on your live, like a few months back, I'm like, yo, we need the Martins, the Malcolms, the Black Panthers, the Marcus Garveys. We need all of them. I don't think that one has a solution. I think that you need the collective in order to really inspire change.
Today's culture would rip apart. Shout out to Abba and Preach on YouTube. If you don't listen to those two niggas on YouTube, those dudes are hilarious. They're very socially informed and they have great content. Abba and Preach. But if this is a weird plug because they have like millions of followers. It's a reverse plug. But they did a sketch on Martin Luther King doing the speech, the I Have a Dream speech, in today's climate. And there's just so many things that he would say and people in today's culture would tear apart. Like if he said all of mankind, well, people don't want to be considered mankind. We consider humankind. Or if he said little black boys and little black girls. Well, some of us don't identify with either or. So like, yes, we do need more people like Martin Luther King. Yeah. But Martin Luther King would get torn apart if he gave a speech now.
That's the thing, yo. You can't worry about what they're going to think because they got something to say about everything.
Facts.
Like
the problem is it's more people that have something to say that is affecting as opposed to the people that are not. When it came to the I Have a Dream speech, it was less people that had an issue with it talking.
Right.
But the people that were in support of, they were the higher upper echelon talking. So, it depends. It depends what your fight is.
That's true.
I mean, fight your fight. Shout out to you fake feminist bitches.
We're here on behalf of Fanswap, so I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just seeing a whole lot of misinformed feminists or groupthink feminists that don't really understand.
That's what I said. Fake feminists.
Exactly, but
I might have added an unnecessary word to the end of it.
Just as much as you're seeing it. I laugh sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. I laugh. Sometimes I'm like, that's for real. Sometimes I'm like, do you hear how outlandish this sounds? I'm done.
Which is why I know. I got. He was teetering.
I was over here like, you know what? Fanswap.
That's what you gotta do whenever you start teetering. You be like, "Oh, you racist."
The brand. Right?
That's how I represent your cancel culture.
Nah, I get it, and that's the thing. That's why, because y'all are here on behalf of a brand, so I don't knock y'all for that. Whatever representation you have, but at the end of the day, it is about like we do need to promote that free speech because at the end of when you're off of this platform,
right,
you don't have no problem with going out. And when you're outside of the platform, that is Fanswap. You don't have a problem with saying whatever you feel, whatever you believe.
NonPareiL is very outspoken.
Jeez. Finding content creators. That's something I struggle with.
Okay.
How the fuck do you do it? It's the hardest. It's hard for me because when I try to bring people on, like, just think about the last 40 minutes of this conversation that we've had. I'm not, like, we've talked about Fanswap, but I haven't really asked y'all, like, what really got y'all motivated? What's got y'all started? What's your next steps? Like, we're here for conversation.
Right.
Just casual conversation. Finding a content creator that is about that, because the most people that hit me up are artists. I'm not against artists. If you make songs, if you write songs, I know you're a content creator. I know you're a visualist. So then when you say, hey, can I come on for an interview? It's like, well, we don't do interviews. It's not a questionnaire. Like there are times when,
which I appreciate that. I want to make sure you let you know that. I like when you sent that to me. You don't do questionnaires. I appreciate that so much because I don't like questionnaires neither.
Yeah,
I give them out only because the team they wanted us to everyone be on the same page.
It's an interview.
I hate questionnaires
because my thing about questionnaires is if I ask you, and I think it was episode 5 with Xavier Cloud. I kind of like opened up the episode with like what got you started in music. And then, like, we got a little started into the conversation, rolled a little to a conversation. And then he said something about social media. And I was like,
Pivot.
Let's dig. Let's see where this goes. And then we get into that, and I'm like, holy shit, this nigga's a social media guru. Like, Xavier Cloud is a Twitter genius. This dude understands Twitter to a different level. But we got into that conversation. That's when I realized, like, yo, you could take a simple question and completely like rearrange the whole premise of your episode based off that question. But I can't walk into it saying, I'm just going to ask 30 questions and figure out which one hits home.
But first of all, though, I'd rather just have like 3 random topics that we can maneuver, because you can get off the topic, come back if you want. And just move, you know what I'm saying? But to have questions, you're looking for certain answers.
But that's what an interview is to me. Like, people say, let's do an interview, and that tells me you want me to say, when did you get started? What made you do this? At what age did you see this?
But then you gotta do that every week for everybody. That's
far
why
from that.
we kind of switched gears and introduced the swap topics, which we get the group together with whoever 6 are on that day, and have the artists on there, and now you have natural conversation.
I call it organic conversation,
man.
because at the end of the day, all of us have a different perspective. And I'm like, we just throw this topic out.
They all dumb, but yeah.
Exactly.
Millennials.
And so I'm like, let's just throw this topic out and let's see where everyone feels about it. And typically there's someone who's really passionate about that one topic. And then
shout out to episode 10. Yeah. Shout out to episode 10.
Oh, what was that? What
it Be Your Own People. It was me, Q, J Pat, Afia. It was a roundtable special. Xavier Cloud and Lewis. And we all did, it's a 2-hour long roundtable special on 5 different social issues. Police brutality, self-hate within the community, keeping wealth inside of the community. I forgot the other ones. But it was a roundtable special on 5 different topics. And just, first of all, it was a lot. It was just a lot to take on. But it's nice hearing so many different people's perspectives, and then you can sit in a group. And at the end of the day, we all like dap up, have a drink, go out.
And you learn. If nothing else, I don't have to agree ever with you. As long as I learn that there's a perspective out there, I can understand more people. You know what I'm saying? And I can get out of my little box in my little world where it's just what I think.